We've got breaking news. The Sacramento Kings preparing to trade De'Aaron Fox ahead of the trade deadline. Whoa, gotta love the NBA. Where could he go? What would a deal look like? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel. Turn on notifications as well. We're going to keep you up to date heading into the trade deadline. Seriously, guys, only about 20% of you are subscribed right now. The other 80%, hit that subscribe button right now. So here's what's going on. According to Shams Charania, the Sacramento Kings are expected to open up talks to potentially deal All-Star De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th trade deadline, sources tell ESPN. There will be plenty of suitors, but it's believed Fox has a target destination, notice that singular, in mind ahead of 2026 free agency. So De'Aaron Fox has some place that he wants to get to. Clutch Sports client De'Aaron Fox. Now, keep in mind, when we're looking at this, this is why this is possible. When you look at his salary right now, he's under contract for $35 million this season. Is extension eligible this summer. Is under contract next season for $37 million. It's not like he can leave Sacramento this summer. He needs their help. He needs a trade to get out of Sacramento. But what he can do is tell the Kings, I will not sign an extension with you. I'm not extending with you. Therefore, the Kings will have to trade him because that will be a clear sign that in the summer of 2026, he plans to leave in free agency if he won't sign a max extension with the Sacramento Kings. So if Fox has already made it clear to the Kings right now that he won't sign that extension, well, then that could indeed create a trade market here. Now, the Kings, the leverage they've got in this situation, they can very well say, even if Fox has told them, I'm going to leave 2 summers from now, I'm not staying. He is under contract next year. The Sacramento Kings, the leverage they have in the situation is they can say, look, we don't have to do this deal right now. If you want us to do this now, instead of waiting until the summer or waiting until next season, they have all the way until next year's trade deadline to move De'Aaron Fox without risking losing him for nothing. For the Kings, they can say, if you want us to do that, then we need to get X, Y, and Z. If you want us to move him now, rather than waiting and seeing if we can get a better deal then. The flip side would be De'Aaron Fox can try to put pressure, as we've seen Jimmy Butler do with the Miami Heat, on his team to try to move him sooner rather than later. So where could he ultimately wind up and what would a trade cost for De'Aaron Fox? I think that's going to be something really interesting to take a look at, and I'll get to that in just a moment. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. If you guys want to check out Prize Picks, great way to help support our growing channel here. Use the link in the description down below and use the code BULLETIN to go sign up for Prize Picks. You get a guaranteed $50 on your first $5 played. I'm going to make a couple of quick selections here. Austin Reeves against Philly, no Gabe Vincent. I think he's going to clear 13.5 points for the Lakers tonight. Tyrese Maxey on the other side, I think he's going to be great, and that is a goblin play there, which means it's a little bit easier to win, 23.5 points. And you know what I'm definitely going to take? I'm definitely going over here, the Super Bowl, and taking the Patrick Mahomes free square, 0.5 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. I am definitely taking that one. But again, guys, go check out Prize Picks. Great place to go play daily fantasy and use our code BULLETIN. Get a guaranteed $50 on your first $5 played. All right, so what would a De'Aaron Fox trade look like? Well, the challenge here for the Sacramento Kings has got to be that you already have a bunch of win now pieces on your roster. Are you really going to move De'Aaron Fox for the standard package that we see that includes, say, something like future draft capital, picks, things of that nature? Is that something that you need to do? Probably not, because the Kings are not going to go into a tank mode rebuild because you still have Sabonis, you still have DeMar DeRozan, you still have Malik Monk. You've got too many pieces on this team to immediately flip this and turn this into a tanking team, a team that's rebuilding. Now, maybe ultimately they get there, but you'd have to really gut the roster in order to start dropping enough games. So you look in the West right now, Sacramento currently the 10 seed. Maybe this is good news for the Golden State Warriors, who want to get back into the mix badly, want to get back into things, and ideally make a playoff push here. Maybe they become the landing spot for Jimmy Butler. I talked about that a little bit earlier today, that the price has dropped on Jimmy, and the Warriors are going to try to move up as much as they can here. But the Sacramento Kings, you're the 10 seed right now. They had that long 17-year playoff drought. They certainly don't want to miss the playoffs again. They don't want to be that team that's constantly missing the playoffs. You've got De'Aaron Fox here. It's tough to see the Kings just taking back a package of future draft capital. I think if anything, they might take back future picks. They might take back young talent, but kind of similar to the Miami Heat, I think they'll be in a position where they want to win if they can. They want to try to win right now, make the playoffs, and make a real run. So that may skew them more towards pieces that can still help them win this season rather than the standard, we just want picks and young players. Now, Fox it's actually not a difficult salary to trade for. When we look at De'Aaron Fox, $35 million, it's not nearly as difficult to get there as, say, for Zach LaVine, who's at $43 million, Jimmy Butler, who's at about $48 million. Making a trade work for De'Aaron Fox, not that tough. I think it's something that you actually can get to. So that's something to factor in too. I think the market, it is going to be robust. I think there's going to be a lot of teams interested in De'Aaron Fox. And as Shams noted, there'll be plenty of suitors, but Fox has a target destination in mind. So then it becomes a question, because a lot of teams can get there math-wise to a De'Aaron Fox trade. Then it becomes a question of, does anybody want to challenge De'Aaron Fox, right? He has a team he wants to get to. Destination, singular. He has a destination in mind. Where does he want to get to? And are there any teams out there that are going to hear, hey, he wants to go to Team X, whatever that team is, and are going to say, well, you know what? But we really like him, and we think we can convince him to stay. Again, he's under contract for this season and next season. Now, Fox can try to dissuade any team from doing that. Let's say Fox wants to be, pick a random team. Let's say De'Aaron Fox wants to be on the Orlando Magic. Let's say that. He really wants to go to the Orlando Magic. And instead, you've got another club that says, let's say the Houston Rockets, say, you know what? We think we can convince De'Aaron Fox to land here. We think we can convince De'Aaron Fox to trade here. Do the Rockets then pull kind of a Kawhi Leonard with the Toronto Raptors, where they say, you know what? We're going to trade for him. We're going to make a run this year. We're going to make a run next year. And we think in that time, we can convince him to stay. Is there a team out there that will do something like that? By the way, the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets, both teams that I think should have heavy interest in De'Aaron Fox. They would both be great landing spots for him. The San Antonio Spurs, another team that in the past has been named that should have interest in De'Aaron Fox. They want to combo him with Victor Wembanyama. That could be a scary thought for the Western Conference, a De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama combo there. The Lakers are always interested in any kind of star-level talent that's out there. I'm sure they'd be willing to go just about all in to go get someone like De'Aaron Fox. So I expect the market to be very robust, but the question is, what is that team? Who is it that De'Aaron Fox wants to get to? Is it the Spurs? Is it the Rockets? Is it the Magic? Is it the Lakers? Is it somebody else? That may go a long way towards determining the market. And then it becomes a question of, what do the Kings want back? Are they getting back pieces that can help them win right now with guys like DeRozan, Sabonis, Malik Monk still on their roster? And then, is there a team that is willing to try to go against the wishes of Fox and trade for him even if they aren't that club? Or is Fox able to scare away all the other suitors by saying, well, you'll be in the same situation the Kings would be in. I won't sign an extension with you this summer, and I will be gone in the summer of 2026. Is he able to nerf his own market by doing that and therefore increasing the chances for the one team that he wants to go to land him? So there's a lot going on here. But man, the NBA trade deadline, we've been talking a lot about the Jimmy Butler situation. There was some Brandon Ingram news earlier today. There's a lot going on. But wow, it is off and running now. De'Aaron Fox on the market. The Kings looking to make a move here. Who is going to swoop in and get De'Aaron Fox? Big news. Again, make sure everybody, you do subscribe right here to the channel. Turn on those notifications as well. I'm going to do everything I can to keep you up to date on everything heading into a very eventful, looks like, NBA trade deadline coming up on February 6th. So again, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. De'Aaron Fox on the market.